Is there a roving mic here for the gentleman, second row? Thanks.
John, Brian, could I ask you about your feelings on present situation in Gaza, Israel?
On the scale of depravity, slaughtering teenagers and babies, and bombing a hospital and killing 500 people. I don't know on the scale of depravity what balances out with what. Instead of reacting to the politics of the latest atrocity, people need to get further back. And other people, I think, maybe should say nothing. And it's hard not to, say something on this. I once talked to Robert Fisk. I've been back to Lebanon quite a few times. I like the food. And we were talking about, whether journalism can be impartial. And I was asking him the question, and he said, no, it can't, of course it can't. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because the journalist has to always be on the side of a victim. And I quite agree with that. But who's the victim here? There's a lot of victims, and that's where you begin to untie the thread of this hatred, accepting that that's what we have in common. We're all victims, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. You kind of have to work from that baseline and forget about the wrongs of Hamas and the rights of Israel or vice versa. Because that just, blood begets blood and you go back down that road again. So if I could say to Robert Fisk, how would he answer that? And he would just say the same thing. You have to support the victims. It's got nothing to do with anything else. He also, he talked to me, this is interesting. Now Robert's dead, but I'm not talking behind his back. I walked around his apartment when I went to visit him, and in Lebanon on the Corniche, and the walls are lined with books, hundreds and hundreds of books. And he went to open a bottle of wine or something, and I was looking around the books, and they were all by Robert Fisk, every one of them. all in different languages. So I said, so that's very, very interesting. And then we sat outside on the balcony. He said, it wasn't that he got morose. He just went into a kind of quietness, which is unusual for Robert Fisk. Robert Fisk loves to talk. He really, really likes to talk. And on the subject of the books, he said, I wonder now, did I make any difference? I didn't know at the time Fisk was dying, and he knew he was dying, and he hadn't told many people. But that's what his thinking was. And did he make any difference? And maybe that's a question we all need to ask ourselves before we open our mouths. What difference can we make? Or how can we clear the ground? How can we walk Israel away from the cliff edge, from the abyss? We need to ask those questions. How can we make a difference? Not add to it, and look to what causes victim. What's being lost out there is, the real victim is not the bloody bodies. I'm sorry for saying it. The real victim out there is human dignity, compassion, rationality, wisdom, spirituality, if you want to go down there. That's the victim out there. And those things need to be replaced. and they need to be dragged out of the desolation they've been kind of thrown into. I'm going to stop. I sound like I'm lecturing because I don't really want to, but that's my feelings about what's going on there.
Thank you.